Yamamu nyinachi emamu akwaba UTV sunie critical issue fisabre akopem se bobodu ba kon ene efia be di campaign sansen sama ye de bremo no esoso papa eye very critical ti si tumi di ho nkomo de hwemo ma no tumi ekona numidin e de eja kwabena medamu nyina se sanopenso muni ye hia ne ebedi nkomo na aboafo a eboam ye de dwumedi abremu this way chocolate drink and the coffee drink this way non-dairy tea creamer special ice ensure and a special drink. Omukrimu painting. And no chi. Maybe ma wunra betu ama wanya hoden wate. Me betina ha. Ye chechire oman no ne apom de hu sam so hia ye pa. Enti medical and work of Farmer Trust Limited. Farmer Trust am kan kire o say. Odi no bi aba. Na se no no de aba no. Ebeboa wo ne wo manyina. Ama malaria ha ya dwene no. Akọ ensonso na waye yam nyina so ebekọ am ye nya hoden na ensonso na binim die hu rough ye bodi na yam de opram eyam pass adwuma no so do mboye enti sa kind of ye ensonso no wo yam a that should tell you something say wunye safe kra enti bisrew trouser 400 sunsunro Farmer Trust for na diaba na ensonso no tie bi din o ebi e tape worm tape enye tape a egbo ebi o tape na de measure no ombe wa rough ena hook worm no hook ye wo thread worm ahoma na ochechire ena ye wo pin worm ono be wo soso ena ye round worm ono kurukuru a no hye ho na ship worm ona mpena sempa no obe shipu ye funu niema enti sansonso makomako be nsien no wo mu die nya papa ebia ne de oye ne titru ne kwada no mpo ana ye mpanyimfo ne ahoda ye di yensa wo nyenti no nsonso wo ye mu pa enti besrew e matras of 400 empa ofie abribia ye mpanyin ne kwada nyina mo betumi anoma ebeboa pa afa no achi wode Lumitrust nso aba na Lumitrust no eno na dwuma ye pa ne se akutia malaria bia Lumitrust ena akutia no eguma hodo mienu ye wonsuo dia ye mankwada se dia ankwada no mu yo mu denti no ye de flavors bit say banana ana fresh strawberry ena ye de afra ntudo to akora nanum na guna no wanom na no hatumi ato no na opani no so no wo so wanom ye Lumitrust no wo so wanom ne press de no na aboawo ama atumi ade wo ho enti misro busuan chemfa wo trouser 400 Lumitrust suspension na fe Lumitrust tablet nimi ense na meka fo de ma busuan ne bi ofia ye ni ha kra opedodo atu ano afra Farmer Trust for e wo 0561 088663 0561 088663 and na fe 0561 088666 afe no achi se onsa manfo anum aye kama obi so obi esre obi anon pese de kwase so sre esanse ne sia fe aseda bi obabi a ne e de makojakefo kojakefo ena de aposin different ones makomako ahodo miensa badwa manso a omode bo aboyese ho ban na sa aposin ene gugu hei e wa hoden sei so wa hu kojak p onno bo apempemu no na adwuma ye de anyasam kuma akora o kojak p se men kan kire wo se wo yo bia wo sin no eye very sensitive pa na wo de twitwi wo de bibia na wo sin ya bi na se for ko pebi ebeboa wo ena fei eno achi nso ya sande ba kwa ba eno na won fifi hono sa aha wono so na dwuma oye e ma osi achi na mun nya hoden am wonum ye hwiam pa ana yesan wo koja chako ono hyase tuntum no ho eno so ma yesi ayese fite eti bo modern so so betuma ka bi na bebo pa na koja pi no so no yesan won mouthwash eno so no wo de pusuwa no mu a oh e ma so wonum ye hwiam papa and I feel pro code. Pro code dey ba ko pe ma no pro code a che papa na koja for dem because ada o ma se say pro code amano no ma no fitititi abepem ne no still na no said de ebo adwuma no saa na tie enti so pe pro code ato a eye ba ko pe no wadwa manso a pharmacy shop drugstores how do ni na no kwa so betumi aka bi anu e kojak for de no anu the only pro code a e wo wiase enti kojak de o de wo mo a woni problem kra nwuma kuyi na eboa ama me de ena dwumedi abrɛ mu asam kakra bi na pesa me kansana ye twɛn ho na ye ne Dr. Hassan Ayariga ebinum tu ne di Ayariga ye ne bi din komo fia no pɛyi sensensem no bi wɔ hɔ a ye critical so no yi ano na fe no che bidwafo asinkonya ne ye di nkomo na mo kakra pesa me kan sɛ wo man yo bi nkyekere ma ye hu eya na be kyekere ye man abontinsu ni biara ni ho Nigeria ni Togo ni America ni wo bi biara ni wo be kyekere man Ghana ma ye age ye Ghana fo no a enti ahwe kakra bi ni ba outside influence ebo wura busuan yi mu a asamato ye ya hwe kakra ma ni ana ho na ye hu ne se we na ye Ghana fo ye de na se tena se a ye ne beba ye so no na it too late. I hope and pray say woman ye to me ama wo ho se wo mu ni animu no e bi hu ne say wo yo kanifo a wo asudie pa esas wo medi wachi ni nyina no wo na wo mo hwe wo no makọ enti se wanye ni yi a we diabro wo ye de yi nso a eye nhira nko a asem bi esi Kumasi New Swami and esi Swami police station say bambo fom yinu police ni soja e dia boy ni enye normal enye normal mo man fa ne say we bia no enye normal enti mo fa ni agrokora ye hwe bibi ye na nipa bonfo bi amfa kwati kwan bi so anya de bi wiase no e de ha bebre ye mesremo a mehu ade bi e wo daily graphic animu anope na me wura ho pa I've been in Sunyane for very long time my adwuma ho na me kai bra mu se so mu si Sunyane library no mani je papa so solid 18 solid years ni o man yansi and we talk about education we are not serious me aya somebody bi wo ka obi afi se bi a wo kasa do ba se se ka ye ne mre na say 18 years library nkwara be kokko sua de no ye jesi ho a ye nya ho hwe 18 solid years na ye say education and your priority a I'm afraid bi de me hunu ne sa ye kwaje nkrato ye ba ye ne Dr. Hassan Ayariga ebedi nkomo ye kwa ba Awia yekoya ya ba da mo asese munya bre na yekutwa hu tia wa ya be yebedi nkomo na ne nkomodie no se medical kan no ye ne Dr. Hassan Ayariga be ye one on one afa no achi na fa sinkonya na bedwafo so adwetwe no mususu omo wo no omo de ni nyina so abreye na mu na no pe yansa na be ma Dr. Akwaba na yedi nkomo no na dumo fo me mammo ne adwuma me se nra yura ho sem bi esi e opokwase abe eye abensu quarters enkoda mi ense bi a enuanom omukoto nsuo mu mienu tumi pie ba kwantumi ampie bapim na yekase enye hu akwada no eno anadwo konkonkon e friend adbofo no butumi koi ekwa mu fam de bia still yenye hu akwada ne de na so minum say effort na mu put into it no yade a eye pa nti yada mo asem nkoso na mo kwa no paminu se ba okoto aso ahwe se mo betumi hu akwada no amuna na mo de amawofo no yada mo ase papa dan bofo se ne yepe no mo ye ne sa na oman no so atumi akonanim saa na yepe no ano no ye nin obi ani asem bia enti na no pesa medi kankan no Dr. Hassan Ayariga wono na APC amanyuku no oye ne kofare bai ono kura no ye franka tufo edema amanyuku no na ene ye ne bedi nkomo kakra afa niam ahodo bi hu na fe no achi no de aka no ye de atoaso. Doc, you are welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Me too, catch it.
Yeah, I'm COVID.
COVID. Who show?
Yes, so for almost 3 months. I was in the hospital for 1 month and 6 days.
Oh, I see.
Yes, intensive care, 21 days.
Really?
Oh, yes, it was very serious. No, yeah, very, very serious.
Did you least expected so many COVID?
Yes, of course, because I don't socialize too much. When you say, I try as much as possible not to always meet people, apart from press conferences. Most of the time, I will fear, because I am from fear.
Okay.
So getting it, I think that mostly yeah, either from visitors or from school kids.
Okay.
Yeah, more school. I will fear papa now we are. Aha, but though the kids more be. It doesn't really show.
Our immune system is strong.
Yes, our immune system is very strong. And their careers, they can carry it from one point to another and they don't even know they are carrying it. But some of us at our age, when we get COVID, it comes out serious. But according to more COVID, it's a malaria, fever, a samba, and then I had a salad party for the presidential candidates that period. So a whole lot of things, activities happened within that period.
I see.
So I was in intensive care from Kolobu. They couldn't manage me. Then they transferred me to IMA, Gapoa Hospital, International Maritime Hospital. That was where I was saved. If I was in Kolobu.
Nkasambai. I didn't call so Kolobu to who say one.
Only Kolobu no. It's just for me, sorry, but it's like a death trap. Because Oko Kolobu, it's a government hospital. Medicines, Bibia no obey it is Okoto. Only Bia, only Sika obewu. That's number one. Number two, the doctors are good, but they don't have the necessary instruments and equipment to save your life. So it is a soldier now man gun, now man bullet. So omo ya there no betimi but ntimi help. So Kolebuno, I was saturating at 86. 3 days later, I was saturating at 70, almost going off.
Wow.
My wife said, no way, we have to transfer you out of here. So they transferred me from IMA. Even IMA, Kolebu, I couldn't work anymore. Within 4 days. And I drove myself to Kolebu. Wow. So within 4 days, saturating 70 is bad. Very, very bad. So me do IMA now. They first did my lungs test and 96% of my lungs was gone. Asa is dead, gone. I got 4%. So mine, I say, Nyami na
Wow.
yeah, adia, mami. Because I believe that my prayers of my family, Ghanaians, Muslim community, Christian community, a whole lot of people prayed for me. Wow. And that is what actually gave me the recovery.
What was really going through your mind when you were in intensive care, baby, at the son?
Let me go intensive care. I was blind, totally blind. Just like I don't know where I was. A blind man sitting down, you don't know where you are. So that is what actually, I didn't even know, I didn't even realize my kids anymore unless they come. I didn't even remember I had kids unless they appear before me. The only person I was every day privy to was my wife. And she was the one giving me all that support, prayers and all that. And the nurses were very good. The nurses in IMA and the doctors in IMA, superb. They did a wonderful job. Not like in Kolebu where the level of negligence was too high. In Kolebu, they will neglect you. You'll just be lying down there. I didn't have, in Kolebu for the past 4 days, every midnight I ran shortage of oxygen. From 2 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. I'll be sitting down this way without oxygen and trying to breathe on my own. Oxygen is finished. And you make calls and nobody's responding. The doctor leaves the hospital, the ward at 12 midnight, and the next doctor will come at 5:30 a.m. So what happened between 12 to 5:30 now is you and your feet and God. But those who had oxygen, there were those who had oxygen by those who were having the oxygen from the hospital through the pipelines, they were fine. But those of us who were using cylinder, the cylinder cannot last you 5 hours. No cylinder can last you 5 hours, or 5 hours 30. They should have been coming in every 2-3 hours to change the oxygen. But when they leave you people at 12 midnight, unless 5:30 a.m., no matter what you do, 5:30. And sometimes cylinders cry no more fabrano, a half, sometimes quarter. Wow. And some of us were using almost 16 units, 16 temperature power. So 16 means that you need more of the oxygen. And I mean, I don't want to talk much about Kolebu, but I think that government needs to do a lot. If not, Kolebu will only be registering a lot of death and nothing more, and no treatment. And the CEO needs to sit with government for them to be able to do something about Kolebu, because Kolebu needs a lot of support. If not, we will only send people to Kolebu to die. Most people send their people, they go there and die. They don't go and come back home. Wow, so why will I go to the hospital when I was doing better at home? Then I go to the hospital and I'm doing worse. So what's the essence of going to the hospital? I must as well stay at home and pray to God and look for some other medical support rather than going to Kolebu. Because it's one of the biggest hospitals in the country, and it's not properly equipped. They have good doctors, very good doctors. But what can a good doctor do without it? Machineries, equipment, and all the necessary things that he needs to save life. It's just like you here being a good producer, presenter. Then you don't have a camera. You are working. The camera goes off, light goes off, microphone is off. I mean, you will get fed up and leave the place. So Kolebu, I'm praying and I'm appealing to government to invest more in Kolebu, because it is a public hospital where many people believed in and think that when they get there they'll be saved. But it's the other opposite. When they get there, it's like a death trap where you go and then you say salam alaikum, bye bye. So I thank the people of Kolebu, the doctors there, especially IMA, the nurses and the doctors. And I think that we need to intensify the education on COVID. People think COVID is over.
Yes.
People think it's not a deadly disease. Others think that, they are only lying. Look, before I left that place, I spent over 100 plus. Yes. My total bill over from Kolebu up to IMA was over $100,000 Ghana cedis. Over. So you can imagine how many Ghanaians have 10,000 to go to the hospital to pay. How many of us can pay 10,000? So it is better, we say prevention is better than cure. So let's prevent it so that we then get people going there. And government needs to intensify the education on COVID. It's not over. Anybody who tells you COVID is over, tell the person that it's not true. You can never tell me malaria is over, fever is over, jaundice is over. No. We need to intensify and get the vaccine so people will be vaccinated so that a lot of people can survive. And then we also need to make proper precautions. Wow. Say, akwada na mo school no. Omo na mo peer school bra na omo inhale nim tree na insume hot water. Now papa na mama na inhale. All these things no, it will help. And the kids still tell them, only say akwada ko school ha. Omo pe
they are grow.
And they are the main careers. They are the main careers. Because if you are in your house, now somebody will go out and bring it. Who is that? Your ba. And when he come, he cannot come and say, daddy. Then will say, Dabi.
Ain't possible, sir.
And possible. Or he say, mommy. We say, Dabi. But they in school, their immune system na a high. So omu will cover the worker. So omu na more careers ne. Wow. So we need to educate them more. School no more. And I think that government should also make sure that every 2-3 weeks now, according to our testimony in school. Every 3 weeks, let's get more
sample testing and
yes. Every class, you can just pick maybe 15 students and test them, or all, because it will prevent the spread of COVID. That is the beginning of spread of COVID, not those in the house. Because they can't manage themselves well. So COVID is a real, Papa. And me, I don't mind going around and educating people on COVID. I really don't mind. Because
your experience,
yes, I think that it's a deadly disease and people must be very careful. And yeah, easy. At a point in time, I will see myself double. Wow. Then I'm in the machine. Then I see myself standing somewhere.
Wow.
Then I'll pray to God. Then a door will open as if I'm getting out of the door. Then me bomb fire. Then the door will close. Then my spirit, I'll see something like my spirit standing right in front of me. And I'll be lying down, the body will be here. The spirit will be there. Then there'll be a door. Maybe somebody say, what is this? And the oxygen is going and it's not coming properly. So the moment you miss one step, wako. And you're serious. I don't want to experience this again. And you're very serious. So every time, maybe who say my spirit, waha, at the same bottom no. Now me waha. Lie in the machine with the machine. Then my who say spirit now I call. Let's say it's not Hassan Ayariga here. Now who is this man? Then me bomb fire. Then the door will open. Me bomb fire. Then the door will come and close. Then the spirit will come back again. Spiritually, life. Sometimes I don't even know where I am.
Wow. And one who man ye pa. Ye mountain kwanso.
Yeah, serious. COVID is serious.
COVID is serious. We the car kuya said well, e bi actually no aka de no asem say the car. Me the many ko hu bi Oregon East. Na see the city no. I can tell you say Ayariga sisi edi hu agrokra. E wo ho pa. Enti wo man adwene say na pa ne me de men wo na me de men we pa ne no kone ko wo. Say enchire wa, say ento wa da. Eto na ba hu say sade na hyehyampa. Nti ye besere papa. Enti after 2020 election wa be fie otifia o hwe 4 years ago any this time Ghana kosan
my own say here the public break. The most important thing for Ghanaians is Juma. From 2016 to 2021, based on the promises MPP Omoyero, that is what we are going to judge them, and the number of campaign messages, and then also the money borrowed so far. What him say? When you don't have resources, you can come with excuses and say that me need sika. That is why I'm unable to do A, B, C, and D. But only sika, then you don't have to complain. In the first place, MPP Bano, they have borrowed enough. They have borrowed more than any other government has borrowed per their records. when we look at this borrowing, the first thing that be no, at the end a fasika no because unisika now you go to your neighbor. I come to you and say, oh, please, I want you to borrow me 100 Ghana cedis. I must have a reason why I pay 100 Ghana cedis from you. I cannot just go and borrow the 100 Ghana cedis and continue. Now, if I borrow the 100 Ghana cedis because I want to invest in my business, or pay school fees for my children, or build a house, or repair my car or whatever, it must show that whatever I borrowed, no, my fire. So far, the money borrowed by the MPP, our debt stock is almost 260 billion. What do we have to show? We say one district, one factory. We say one constituency, $1 million. We say one village, one dam. Ninia omokasa bebre. But me, all these things are not the important things for me. The very important things for me is roads, hospitals, schools, education, wow, 3 square miles, markets, employment for the people. These are the fundamental things that as a government, it is so yeah. Building skies in the heavens, building castles in the air is not what the people of Ghana need. At the end, Ghanaians need 3 square meals, morning, afternoon, and evening for their children. What Ghanaians need? Good roads. What Ghanaians need? Good education. What Ghanaians need? Markets for their product. All these things have been left out. So
why do you say so?
According to me and according to statistics, what have they done so far? We are satisfied with ordinary things. But if you cannot do the ordinary things in an extraordinary way, then you have failed. Wow. What they check communities. People are building communities. The society is building communities every day. Go to those communities and see whether there are roads. Go to those communities and now who say market or home. Go to those communities now who say hospital to home. Go to those communities and see even water. Number new or high. So people are building and government is doing nothing. People are building society, no hospitals. People are building community, no market square, no roads. People are building. Look at all the new communities in town. Good of Kohun, Quina Asen. Then I'm here. Kohun, how many of them have hospitals? How many communities? Even government has started 88 hospitals for COVID up to now. Contracts have been awarded and people have not done much so far.
So don't know my converted to agenda 111. My penny dia so above for my say quickly no woman shasing juma almost say within a year, some 8 months, 18 months, and it is and we be see almost all the hospitals.
Yeah, but Sikawa omobetemisi. But when the money is not there, you give award contract to people. How are they going to build? Who are contractor me na me be mao. It say okay, you build the hospital. That's Sika or you 50% of Sika. Within 3 months, won't you finish the hospital? Okay, 6 months. But even if the process of awarding the contract takes 6 months, by the time we finish building the contract, almost half Ghanaians are dead. I think the government should sit down, go back to the drawing board, and look. What we say last 2 days. Fire service recruitment,
and immigration.
Police and
immigration.
Did you see the number of students,
yes,
Ghanaian youth that trooped in there? Wow. Do you know what it means? It means that nothing is working in this country and our youth are hanging. They're on suspension. But those days, fire service was a passion. That those who want to become firemen there are people who really want to be firemen. But this time, it is not about those who want to be firemen. It's the last resort job everybody's running for. Any job now, government, last resort. Fire, police, military, all these jobs are last resort jobs. Not people. Sorry, but that is what it means to people. So the youth who have even trained themselves as medical doctors, as engineers, as professors, and whatever, 200 vacancy and more than 2,000 people, up to 5,000 people are running for. What it means is that our educational system is weak. We have not trained our kids enough to become creative and innovative. Look, I've been talking about this every time. Even the free senior high school. I've been talking about our educational system. That it's bogus. It's bogus. When we train our kids from the university, when they come out of school, they're no more here. Catch me. They're no more here. They start taking their certificates, running from one office
to the other,
and looking for job.
Sir, no thing a finance minister can say. Students in the moment they say venture into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I know you BBI say a bit because as we speak, you know, Aban humanity and Ukrainian comments are so choked.
Good. Aban can say whatever Aban wants to say. It's fine for Aban to say that the public sector is choked. But what other opportunities can you give to the public people, to the people, to the students to perform? In my manifesto, APC 2020, we mentioned about graduate financing project. Wow. Most graduates now, by the time we PA school now, more projects no more business plans no more. As a government, all you need to do is to give guarantee to these students through the banks, so that when a student graduates from a university, he has a business plan. All he needs is some little capital, maybe some 20,000 Ghana cedis, 30,000 Ghana cedis. They will build up businesses. Wow. And after building all these businesses, they will employ people to manage. What we say, mechanics, tailors, drivers, and all these informal sector, they are doing better than the formal sector. When you say, oh, you're a mechanic. If you are trained after 3 years, the next day you are being passed out. Your master will buy you tools and find you some small land. And the next day you become what?
A master.
A master, and you start working. And you employ what?
Someone.
What about education? Oh yes, some street tailor who paid tailoring shop. No more pass over. The next day, machine mao. No, but call BA shop. Now start to work. You employ people. Oh, your hairdresser. When you pass and finish, the next 1 week, you will see all of them having shops. What about our graduates? We are graduates who peer. The next time you are sleeping in the room, or you take your certificate, run. Why can't we do that kind of in a creative way for our graduates?
Then I can say to me, yes, and I be a graduate. So that on my ad, so I said the episode.
I didn't say, you be a graduate financing project. Now you can work fund for graduates. When you finish school and you have a business plan, you come with your business plan. That particular bank is meant for graduate projects. Are you with me? So that these young men, PA school, they themselves will become businessmen and business owners, because they are coming out from school now with business plans. So PA, maybe he only needs 50,000 Ghana cedis. So he goes to the bank. He put up his business proposal before the bank. They look at it as a project. They say, okay, you want to do bottling company like this specialized. They say, okay, Kweku one bottle ice, Asumai one bottle ice, Kwame one bottle ice. 5 of them come. The 5 of you on your project show that you want to do specialized. All right, we are going to give you, the 5 of you, 100,000 Ghana cedis. Put yourself together. Put your ideas together. Put your plan together and start producing this. And this is the amount of money. First of all, you are creating job. You are creating opportunity. You are reducing crime. You are reducing unemployment. You are making students create wealth. Wow. So you will not be struggling with talking about job creation. And these people are not only going to create jobs for themselves, they are also going to create jobs for others, because they are going to employ people. But all these students, PA school, all these ideas, they sit at home with it. They roam one office to the other. When they don't get job, then Sakawa start. Some of them get frustrated. Some of them, even their parents get tired, because I have trained my first son. He's out of school. He's become jobless. He's become a burden. I'm giving him chop money every day. It cannot continue. And what is the economic benefit? Nothing. We are not growing, because their ideas are becoming. Look, let me just take this thing. We have trained economists in this country. Every day we are training economists. We have the best economists in the world. Dr. Baumia, according to them. Look at our city. We can't even manage the city. Look at our economic situations. So if we are training economists on daily basis, and our economists, what's the purpose of training them? Why are they there? We are training engineers. We cannot manufacture anything. Pen, a problem. Everything we must import. Everything we must import. So what is the purpose of? Look at China. You know why they are growing? Because everybody is put to use. Everybody is useful. Every research is important. Here you do research, even there's no money for research allowances. The students are struggling. So what we are doing, we are training avoidable graduates. Graduates no more peer. Everybody is avoiding them. Hey, and we are piling them every day. And now we have brought free senior high school, the worst of it.
I didn't tell because of the worst of it.
Couldn't even say free senior high school, no. My kids are in the free senior high school. And every day they complain to me, Daddy, in my class, the students don't care. They don't read, they don't care. The teacher will be teaching. They will be looking, some of them are sleeping. When the teacher talks, they will say, oh, they don't care. Nobody punish them. They say, after all, they'll pass all of them. So whether you fail or you pass, you move to the next class. So what are we training? Dangerous graduates. So whether you write exams, you pass the exams, you fail the exams, you are promoted from class A to class B, from Form 1 to Form 2, SS1 to SS2, from SS2 to no demotion, nothing, no test of IQ. So the children smokes. My daughters are telling me, Daddy, they smoke, they come to school, they sleep, they dance, the teacher is teaching, they are shouting and making noise in the class. This is a very important school I'm talking about, not a common school in this country. And I don't want to mention the name. Yeah. And this is the behavior of the kids. So what do we think we are training?
So what do you think
no discipline?
To do then? Huh? I didn't have to say yeah.
You see, if you want to give free education, they're the students. If you fail, I'm giving you free education. I'm using government resources to finance all of you and give you training. If you fail, you'll be a dropout. So students are supposed to have certain pass marks. If you don't have that pass mark, don't care, you will be dropped out of school. Look, now the students, they put brilliant students and other students together in the school. And these brilliant students who have the opportunity to become brilliant are now becoming like the other ones. Because why? When you are supposed to be learning and the teacher comes and most of you are sleeping, what do you think the behavior of the teacher will be? Would I catch me? Most of the students are teaching and nobody can beat them. Nobody can punish them. It's free senior high school. Your father is not paying. Your mother is not paying. So you just go in. And it's even more expensive. Because I train my kids private classes. Then I buy all the necessary books that they need. I make sure they are up to standard. The syllabus they are unable to cover. Because they come and first syllabus they have not covered. They go move into second year, they haven't covered the first. So I have to make sure that I pay teachers to make sure that my students cover the first syllabus. And they are not able to. So it's becoming more expensive. Now government needed to do two things. One, we have day students and we have bodies. Good. So we say Achimota here, Achimota Secondary School. Anybody who is a student living within 15 kilometers around Achimota, that person goes to Achimota and is a day student. Those who have come from far away, they become boarders. So we divide the classes into two categories. Section A, which means that those who are sleeping in their borders, they will start classes from 2 o'clock or 1:30 to 9 because they are leaving the school and they will close. Those who are day students will start classes from 8 o'clock to 1:30. So you have 8 o'clock students who come or 7 who start classes and they close at 1:30, and those who start from 1:30 and close at 9. So you don't have to do that shift system that is giving them problem. So all the students will get to come to school the same time and have the best education, and no more traffic like green red kind of education where people are not getting all the syllabus to cover. because of the duration. Wow. So 7 o'clock, early morning, day students will come. They close 1. Everybody will go home. By that time, the boarders will be resting in the school, doing their other preparations. So they start 2 o'clock or 1:30, and they close 9 o'clock. When they close 9, they go and sleep. Are you with me? So you have all of us, all the students, training them at the same time, giving them the length of education, the time of education, and the proper education that we need. Now, when you dare the student and say, look, we are going to have 2 categories of schools. Those that are going to be free and those that are going to be sponsored by government. Now you say, okay, anybody who feels that he has the resources to train his child, so we say at a school like Achimota, it's going to be, you pay. You pay. Because it has certain standards. So anybody who wants to send his child to Achimota must pay free, must pay for the tuition. Then we say, maybe Accra Girls or some other school, we say, look, we are going to sponsor that school. So the resources we have, we divide it into 2. The limited resources, we take half of the schools and then train those schools and upgrade those schools to come to the standard of the schools that we pay school fees. So those who don't pay school fees get the opportunity to go to the same school and the same education level and standard with those students who pay school fees. So I can pay school fees for my child. I don't need free education for my child. So I will send my child to Achimota. Maybe Mr. B cannot pay. He sends his child to another school. But government will now use the money, the limited resources, to upgrade the schools that are not being paid school fees to the standard of those are paying school fees. And you have same level, same education, same standard. Because some people can pay. Some people want to pay. But you don't say free, free, free. Look, that is why the APC is talking about what do you call it, liberal system. If you can afford, you pay. If you cannot afford, we take care of you. Wow. That would have given our education standard the best. And then we train them to be creative and innovative when they come out of school. To produce, to manufacture, to become students with dignity. Not avoidable ones that everybody becomes, what do you call it, an MTN or whatever worker. Everybody's running everywhere for jobs, menial jobs everywhere. One would say, fire service. 2 a.m.
Now, Crawford Kosalai. Do you see it as a security threat?
Is it only a security threat? It's a failure. Economic failure. The youth, the future leaders, look at where they are. They don't even have a future. So where is the future? Look at them. Brilliant students. Look at the way they were struggling just to become fire servicemen. So what have we done? This shows that we have failed as a country. Not as a party, not as a government alone. As a country, we have failed. This is not about MPP or ND. This is about government upon government, that we have not put proper structures in place to make sure that our kids are useful and take our positions when we are no more. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what can we do? This matter we have to address this matter. We have to sit down and look at this matter.
How do we sit down and look at it? Yeshua and Sembia, EPP and saying, Sir, enlistment, you know, who some we said, I can say, Ayebibia. And shada ye fairly. What do you know? What do we supposed to do as a country to ensure say this kind of nkwadebe kokogwo bebre se obopa adwuma ye no munya actually edu baby kwara me wira ho na me ni atata I worked for some of them because utu say you can't say the height anyway no osuma because we need that should be baby ya. Say no, we are at a crossroad. So what do you think say should be done as early as possible, as quickly as possible? Send a baby because other students are also coming out.
Yes, they are piling. That's what I said. They are piling.
I didn't say
yes, we have to go back to the drawing board and change our curriculum of education. We have to train people to be creative and innovative. That is number one. Number two, we have to go back to the drawing board and put a project, a graduate financing project, to make sure that any student that comes out of school gets something to support himself and create and become what do you call it, a businessman or a developer or something else, that they become entrepreneurs. They will train themselves to come out of school and become useful to society. Because if I train you to become an engineer, I don't expect you to come out and be looking for a job as an engineer. I expect you to come out and put up a company and start producing or manufacturing something. Then we have to also look at our informal sector. What is government supposed to do to help the informal sector? We go take loans. We bring all these loans. Foreigners come, we give them, and they will start doing businesses. And our kids. Have you ever tried to secure a loan from a bank?
I do.
As a foreigner? As a Ghanaian?
Ghanaian, yeah.
You will suffer. You won't get. But they'll frustrate you. Let a foreigner go there. They will give you millions of dollars, and you will start business and employ you and be beating you. Look at our mining sector, taken over by foreigners. Look at our oil sector, taken over by foreigners. Every sector of us has been taken by foreigners. Which sector does it belong to us? Nothing. So we need to capture all those things back and make Ghanaian first. The Ghanaian comes first in everything that we do, not the foreigner. But in this country, the foreigner comes first before the Ghanaian. And we have forgotten our youth. So we need to begin to engage our youth properly. Wow. Give them the necessary support that they need. Mechanics, you give them support. Graduates, they give them support. Government is borrowing and borrowing. And I don't know what government is borrowing the money for. Because our roads are bad. Our hospitals we don't have. Markets we don't have. Nothing. Students are... I mean, you don't even know what we are doing. There is no future for our kids. We are not building the future for them. We are building wet walls that will break, that will fall apart. One day, this youth that you see, they will revolt. And the day they revolt, they don't care whether you are NDC or you are MPP. They don't care whether you are a minister or you are not a minister. The day they will revolt, it will not be good for all of us. So we better start training them and giving them the support they need now, by changing their lives and giving them all the necessary support. And those who are educating, we need to change the curriculum of education. Totally. I disagree with this curriculum of education that is not making them useful. Look, in Germany, we have what we call Umschulung. We have technical school. Now, when you finish school, if you're a carpenter, they'll train you to have a proper certificate. And a carpenter earns so much money that even a graduate. I'm telling you. People who lay carpets, they earn so much because the building industry is the the building industry is moving and people are building and they're having jobs every day. What are we doing? Somebody comes and from school and he sits at home and no job. He's frustrated. Government doesn't even care. Government says public sector is full. Public sector is full. Who is supposed to be creating jobs for your children? Who is supposed to be doing that? You have given birth to those children, and you are telling your children you don't have food for them. Are you serious? Wow, akwada. Now catch akwada na mini John na mama. We are serious, papa. You have given birth to all these kids. You are telling them that your sector is full. How do you want them to survive? They should go and steal?
Yeah, sure. Idea ba could be okay educational sector no. Na ka metwe wadwene si bi so kakra yankɔtaw na yɛhwɛ recently asɛm si wa flow to fiti asɛm ɔkɔkan about the abandoned project ye block no ho nsɛmsɛm ɛne answer kasa no wo hu ne so wa otie akyire no wo hu ne sign say is it an automatic na na ɔde ma ana say I
think that statement by the president was unfortunate. Probably he overlooked at it, but it didn't go well for me. And I think it's a sign of failure of the government not unable to put up the abandoned project that we've been talking about. You know, I spoke about Sagleme, the issue of abandoned housing project when people are looking for housing. Government didn't do anything. Government said they were going to do. Then abandoned project. These are projects that when you engage even contracted to do, you are creating jobs. The president cannot just sit down and say that, oh, he can go and finish it. Why are they paying? Are Ghanaian paying their taxes to the chief? The president didn't do well in that statement. The Ghanaian people are paying taxes to you as president. That's number one. Number two, you are the number one person who is managing our resources and affairs. So if somebody comes to cry and say, look, they have built school, and it's becoming waste. And it's abandoned and becoming waste. And the person says, I'm giving you 2 weeks ultimatum to finish it. What do? You engage the person as a president. You send your Minister of Education or Minister for Works and Housing to go and engage the man. Oh, I said no, Wakasa na Kureo, because Yantimin Jai Gangantua building way. Now it becomes a place for mouse and cats and rabbits and cows. I think that he's right. All we need is that we don't have enough resources. We are managing resources. We will get there. Simple. You don't say that if you should go and finish. Why? Did you vote yourself to power as president? So next time your party goes there and they will tell you, go and vote yourself. How will you feel? So he didn't do well for the next person who is going to take over from the MPP. He actually destroyed that person's campaign and the MPP campaign. Because the next time the MPP go to that village, or any other villages, they'll find problem. Because any abandoned project, oh, your president said that we should go and finish. Okay, tell your president to go and vote himself.
Yeah, sure. Adia Bakubia, yeah, Bren cry, yeah, Brianissa. Now, my peda da ma so can say 2020 about year 2 year no. Letter commission about 1 million
Votes.
Be ballot papers be no who some near was as on what no who is saying be wom no could be wom.
I think I heard that statement where the former president said that over 1 million votes was it printed or
ballot papers were printed.
Yes. You see,
staffed.
You see, for me, I speak for myself. I have a driver, and I me talk a drew from vitamin C from pharmacy. Me do pharmacy no, na me beto no. Na me tu no smack. Me kasa no kra landlord no pharmacy owner no inside. The girl selling said, is that Ayariga speaking? I can hear the voice. No, PA. Or PA from office, no, back from. I say, oh, Mr. Ayariga, now that I understand our governance system. I say, Ade. I said, look, me, my wife, my workers, even me, I went and voted for you. Even if nobody voted for you, we agreed that we're all going to vote for you. I voted for you. My wife voted for you. My workers and people and family will all vote. We stood there. The day they counted, you got 0. I say you got 0 at that police station. My own driver, I was in the north campaigning, and I voted in the north. My driver, my son, my driver, my own driver, Kwame, he went to Hachu, voted for me, Hassan Ayariga. When they counted that day, I got 0 there.
Maybe I know one stamp.
Then I started voting. Oh, Nimu Papa. Obe vote ma papa o ko hu papa etete obe 2 glass and now obe hu papa and now yere. Only you don't know your son or your wife. It's not that. One person cannot say that. There's instances. So the issue of the president saying, former president saying that 1 million votes were what? I don't think that it is possible for 1 million votes to vanish. I don't think it's possible. Because it does power 1 million votes and yeah, vote Kitua. Because the population of voter register was about 13 million. If you remove 1 million out of it, 12. So where can 1 million vanish? He might have certain issues about it, but to say 1 million votes would vanish.
Are you coming back 2024?
Of course. I will come until I become the leader that will change this country and make this country the best of all. I will not stop contesting. Mark this my word. Until I become the president that will save Ghana. Because for me, when I look at all the leaders, I know them in and out. I know President Nanado in and out. I know John in and out. It's not just physically. All those contesting me, I know them. And I know their capability and I know my ability. And I think I can do much, much, much better than all of them.
But your support base is so weak.
Yes, that is why we need to educate Ghanaians to understand that it is not about the size of government, that party that must win an election. It's the ideas of the leader, the quality of the leader, how he can implement it. Look, if I become president, some people will go to hell for others to go to heaven. Dampare is doing nothing. What he's doing, if I become president, all of them will sit up better than what they are doing. No favor, no excuse. You joke with Ghana, Open who said, "See a president Abba." That party is small for me. When I become president, all of them, I will bring hundreds of them parties, more than thousands of them in the system. Because you cannot cheat. Look, you need national data system in this country. If you want to rule, you need to have a national data system. Every day I've been talking about it. I say, even if you don't take my policy, listen to me. You are in this office. You know the number of people who work here. Yeah. When you are going to pay salary, you know the number of people and their salaries. You know those who come to work and those who don't. Ghana, do we have that system?
No.
So what are we doing? We are encouraging corruption. We are encouraging mismanagement. We are encouraging darga. Everything is destroyed when we don't have a data system. Everybody gets away. So if Dampare wants to work, he should come to me. I'll tell him what to do. So that you will recruit the police very well.
Okay.
And sanitize the police much better than it is.
A lot of messages have come, but yeah, Breninti. Yeah, the uncommon air query and sa. Enti, ya chef for share Sabrino, as somebody na walk catch as one, the leader and founder of APC, and secondly, a Ghanaian.
Most importantly for me, APC is a party. Ghanaians, we are all involved. I want Ghanaians to know that over the years, we've been doing the same thing, and the change is not coming. Not because they can't change, it's because we can change them. If we begin to look away, NDC and MPP, and we bring in a third force, I am telling you, this country will be the best place. And I'm telling Ghanaians, the APC platform is not for me, it's for all of you. In your various communities and regions and constituencies, go and become members of the APC and build APC from that constituency. Be a constituency member, be a polling agent member, be an executive member. Take the party. It is the party that we can change. The youth of this country can transform this country. It's the party that belongs to you, that we together can build a strong country. Look, I don't need anything from Ghana. I just need to see that Africa can be better than America. I just want to see that African man can be better than a white man. We all have the same brain, everything. Why are we so poor, so ignorant, so useless? Sorry. Why? What is making us this way? If it is our leaders, let's take them off and put ourselves and see how we can build this country. We are tired of the NDC MPP dual games. We are tired of it. Look at the youth of this country. Look at the way they are lottering around. Brains and nothing to do with it. All we know is stealing. When we borrow 100,000 Ghana cedis, we take home 80,000 and leave 20 Ghana cedis for us, the country. How can a country be built on this foundation? You steal more than you build. Why are we doing this to ourselves? We are rich in oil, rich in minerals, rich in cocoa, rich in diamond, rich in bauxite, yet we are so poor to the extent that we cannot feed our people 3 square meters. Even all these minerals that we are talking about, tell me one Ghanaian who is managing it. We are so ignorant that we have given it to the foreigners. The mining sector, foreigners. The oil sector, foreigners. Cocoa, every sector of economy has been taken over by foreigners. Which sector belongs to us? Even the presidency is being managed by foreigners. Very soon, a white man will want to contest the president of Ghana.
Really?
It's very easy. It's very easy, and he's going to win. I tell you, watch. Very soon, a Lebanese, any person, an American white, will contest this presidency, and they'll take it over. It's money we all want.
Not to chop.
To chop. We don't care about what to build. So if it is money we pay to win elections, the white community will decide that, look, this man has been living in Ghana, he has a Ghana passport.
Do you support LGBTQ?
Oh, come on. That's nonsense. How can I support it? How can I support that? You see, let me tell you something. People don't even understand the LGBT very well. People think it's about only lesbians and gays. No, it's beyond that. L is for the lesbians, G is for the gays, the T is for transgender, S and all that. But look, the most worst part of it is those parts that we call the Q and the plus plus. One will say Q and the plus plus means that, look, your daughter can get up tomorrow, or me, my daughter can get up tomorrow and say that, look, daddy, I want to be 40 years today. So if she's 10, she wants to be 40 and she wants to get married. So she will turn 40, whether you like it or not. And once she becomes 40, the laws allow her to get married. So a child can get married. Now, another point is that a child can get up and tell his father, look, well, I want to marry my dog. My dog. I want to marry my dog. And they will marry his dog. A daughter can just get up and say, Daddy, I want to marry my horse. So they should go and marry me and my horse. Then they will marry. Now, your child or anybody's child can get up and say, I want to look like a dog. So I want to go and transform myself and become a dog. Are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
And turn to a dog. So the worst part of it, people think it's only the lesbians and the gays. No. They are adding and adding and adding and adding and going. No end. And we, where we come from, we have tradition, we have laws, we have morality. We cannot behave because somebody thinks that he wants freedom. You don't give freedom to people to abuse it. If I'll give you your freedom in a way that you abuse it, then there's no freedom. If everybody thinks that I can do A, then everybody can just get out and say, look, me, I bought a gun. I want to have freedom to use my gun. So you just walk and see somebody and start shooting. Because you have the freedom to do that. Can we live in that man?
No.
We need, so the president, as president of the republic, I'm told he went to a church to say that he has stated, the church is not the place of the nation. If you go to church, one church, and say that you don't believe that you one day allow gayism, that is not a statement.
How do you home to?
You have to make a public statement. Yourself sit in an office, like the way you address the nation. Mm-hmm. You need to sit down and address the nation and tell the nation, this is my stand as president. But let's put it to vote. You can say it. I, Hassan Ayariga, have said it. My stand is that I support the bill. I don't support gayism and lesbianism. If you want to be a gay, go somewhere and do your thing. But how are we going to multiply? That when the end of time comes, we'll see the signs. The end of time is coming. When people want to marry animals and marry dogs, and we think that we should accept that, then we are going to produce another species of human beings.
Which is impossible.
Which is impossible. Just imagine a man impregnating a cow. What is the cow going to give birth to? Just imagine a woman impregnating, a dog impregnating a woman. Just imagine what kind of thing we are going to give birth to. So they should think. Pleasure for what kind of pleasure is this? The men are wearing pampers. The men who are into gayism, they are wearing pampers. And this thing is dropping every time. It's smelling. I have lived with such people in Germany when I was in Germany. My community where I had my restaurant, they were living there in Cologne. They buy pampers. The pampers that were produced, those large pampers, were not produced because of old women alone. It was produced for gays. And it's not entering holding. I said, I buy a drop it. People are here every second. What? You can't even sit closer to them. So what kind of human beings are we going to create in the future? And how are we going to call those human beings?
Yeah, kasi bedi we echi ya beka ho asama kan. Kanti Dr. Hassan Ayariga me dase so ba yo.
To me that's
Wo kwa me che obusuafo ni nyina. Me che APC fo nyina. Bo Dr. Hassan Ayariga ni di nkomo no enne ne tibi okọ mu onya COVID se de oka ho asam waka. Ese COVID na ho pa nti me fa ni agro no onya bi no no abetu na numutu aka ho nsam wa ha. Nti ti na nso fa ababi o mu sanse wo ya ne sa ebeboa me no mi no nyina sanso and yedi nkomo afa issues how do bebre hu a mrese sankenya ya anka beka bia ka ho na so ebre ni nti yebegya na ono kora mu na okọ ba bia nkasa yebegya na kwa manakọ na brepa mu no ya santo safre ni bi ono ene ba yebenya bre ni na kasa kwa chiri yi papa ma nsam odo eso ka no otumi aka ede amanti yebeda na se se wonya bre eba ye na so ada se wonya bre hwe na mu no menkwansa esansa fe na bedwafo yebesi nkonwa na yedi nkoma kwa akiri ye pa nansa na no Yvonne Owuredu Pepra owosunyan. Today is your birthday, Yvonne Owuredu Pepra. Happy birthday. We dey fie abusuani nyina ho papa lo Owuredu Pepra owosunyan na o maame ante ene bushafo nyina so ma happy birthday ukunu ne nkwala ne nyina se wo mo chia pa sanso ena enra na eye Anita esi yamu a wo dansuma Snit flat enra na eye wawda wo ye na sini Salvation Army Clinic and so fie okokoblemle. It's happy belated birthday to you. And then so yeah, Mr. Apau. Beka wasem actually ye kwotun kraba. Beka na asam ni ye papa pesan say opani no minimum no. Madam montwa ye ba ye besi nkonya ye de nkoma ye ba isi ai.